So listen, I was gonna come on here last night, but it's like those moments when you just lay in the bed and you have so many realizations, revelations, family. And that's what happened to me at 11:19 a.m. Yes, I had so many realizations to the point I was like, I couldn't move. I was just sitting in truth and honesty. For the last couple of days, I have been examining my picture. Okay, family, this picture that I painted, the cover of this podcast, family, it has really took me on a wild ride. I was sitting in the bed, laying in the bed a couple of days ago, listening to my podcast, and I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was looking at the picture and I said, whoa. And I've been talking about these hidden figures that we paint all the time. You allow yourself to just be yourself and just paint whatever. Don't be hard on yourself. Just paint. You know what I mean? Just paint. You feel me? Don't even think, just do type of energy. And that's truly what I do when I paint. However, I told you, all of my paintings have faces, people, entities, things, figures. And I was looking at this painting and I seen so many hidden figures within this painting, and I just really want you to see what I see. I really do. I need you to lay down and listen to this episode and look at the picture. Look deeply into the picture and you'll see so many faces. And shout out to Andre 3000. I literally cried. Let me tell you, going back when I first heard ants to you, God's to who, when I first heard that, I was on shrooms. Just gonna keep it real. I was on shrooms, and that's the night that I seen myself for the first time. I seen how huge and large and tall I was for the first time. I was like, wow. And, it made me cry. I just cried. I seen, my wrist, and it was a moment. I was up all night crying, and I remember, yeah. So anyway, let me continue. Andre 3000 is a fucking genius. He's a genius. He is a genius. I looked deeply into this picture and I seen what he's seen. What he has been seeing. I've seen it. And I told you this past fucking summer, okay, I spent so many observation hours outside watching ants and how they freaking move around. And I told you I tried to help an ant. Okay, the ant was carrying a piece of food, or no, not a piece of food, I'm tripping. The ant was carrying a dead bug. And, right before the ant was carrying the dead bug, let me tell you, so I had been observing these ants for a few weeks, right? So within watching these ants, I was meddling. Always freaking meddling. I was meddling, family. 74262. I was meddling with the ants because oh my gosh, you know how that is, We're on top of the world. We're on top of the world. So you feel like you're on top of the world. So you look down and you decide to shift some things around. So I took it upon myself. No one asked me to. I just took it upon myself. You know what I mean? To shift some things around. However, I caused a delay in production when it came to the ants. Okay, so I wanted to see how long it would take them to get back on one accord. However, what they did was, they moved. So it was, the ants split up in that situation. So a large body of ants were in one area, and then I go and I walk a few steps to the left. No, not a few steps to the left. I'm tripping. I walked a few steps to the right. I'm trying to figure out. I think it was about 3 steps. 3, of our steps to the right, and I looked down and there was another situation, another institution happening, and they were building over there. less ants, however, they were doing their due diligence. Okay, so days and days went by. I'm going outside watching these ants because that's just what I like to do. I spent one summer watching bees, and you know how that went. I remember telling you about that, how it all started. So I don't know what I be doing, family. I'll just be spending summers observing the world. I'm just literally, I just be observing the world a lot, okay? Yes. And I know people are walking by like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking at a whole fucking environment, and I see them working. It's so crazy because even within the ants, within the bees, they are always working and always sharing and caring. They're always helping one another. So anyway, I felt bad for causing the dilemma, the delay in production. So I ended up going on YouTube. I thought about what I did, and I ended up going on YouTube, and just so happened, family, that I seen a video of a man deciding to help an ant, shift, move, you know what I mean? They were carrying, whatever they were carrying on the video. They were carrying a piece of food, and this guy just picked up the food, which picked up the ant and placed it closer to where it needed to be. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is the universe is talking to me. The universe wants me to help because of what I did earlier, right? The day before, how I caused the delay and the dilemma in production. So I go outside, and I'm feeling great. I'm feeling mighty. I'm like, I'm going to help. I'm going to reciprocate. I'm going to, bless thy ants, right? So I ended up trying to help the ant. But listen, I seen an ant carrying something, and the ant was carrying a dead bug. So I literally had a conversation with myself. I was like, I don't like that. I mean, I don't like bugs, Not even that. It was just, oh my gosh, no, I don't just go around picking up, I don't do that. So I'm like, I felt like I was being watched. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Shaquias? Are you going to go for it? Are you going to lend a helping hand? Or are you going to sit there and not do anything, right? So I felt pressured. I felt like the world was pressuring me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do in this time? So I freaking picked it up, family. And when I tell you, it was the craziest thing ever, family. I literally freaking shook the ant up. I just shook the ant up. I caused more harm than good. Okay, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa. I went in the house, and I was cornered. I was cornered by the decision that I made to help, which really did not help. It really freaking, shook the ant up. You know what I mean? The ant's like, what are you doing? I didn't ask for your help. And I'm just like, I just try to give back, because the other day, I just caused the dilemma in the production. So let me just help you. Please let me help you. And the ant's like, you fucker. Like, and I'm just like, fuck. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I'm just like, oh my god, what do I do? And then finally I just, because listen, I be doing too much, family. Even when it came to the bees, that summer with the bees, it was a pool in the backyard for my child. And, water was sitting in the bees, I felt as though they got a little, thirsty. So they went to drink the water. So I found myself freaking, going rescuing bees out of the freaking pool. They were drowning. So I just ran out there. Someone, it's like, why don't you just pour the fucking water out? But no, I didn't pour the water out. I just kept rushing out there to freaking, to get the ants that were drowning. Why do I keep calling them ants? To get the freaking bees that were drowning. They were drowning, and it was so crazy. I just would go out there and rescue them. I felt like I was on a mission all summer to rescue the freaking bees, save the bees. I was just so, I was enamored. Okay, I woke up one day. Remember I told you this. Remember I told you this. I even showed you this. However, let me continue. I was like, wow, it was cold and there's a bee on the door, family. And I thought the bee was dead. And then I found out, the bee was just sleeping. So I just kept messing with the bee. And just to make sure it was sleeping. Then I realized it is sleeping. So I was just so fucking, it was just a wowzer moment. So I walked away, and then I went outside, and then he or she was gone, but they eventually came back, and they just were flying around me. And I said, you know what, I walked over there to where they be, because there's all those berries and shit in the backyard. So I walked over there, and we were funk swaying in the summer. So I felt very, very honored. I was honored to be amongst these bees. They treated me like family, and I was just honored. I mean, I was so proud of myself. I went over there. They were, on top of the berries and doing what they needed to do with the berries. And I went and I grabbed a berry, and they were all over it. None wasn't tripping at all. I felt like after I met the bee on the door, which is a window, glass, whatever the fuck, I felt like he went back to his homies and them and said, she's good. Right? She's good. So I was so honored to be a part of that. You just don't even know, family. So, yeah, I was laying in my bed, moving right along. Okay, that was just, past behavior, past things. You know what I mean? So let's move right along. So I ended up laying down a couple of nights ago, and I'm listening to my podcast, and I'm looking at my picture, and I see so much life within this fucking painting, family. You look deeply in there, so many figures, so many faces, so many. And I told you the story about the ants for a reason. So many. And I just want you to see what I see. However, I know, you may not see what I see. But I don't know, I cried. I freaking cried. And I know, we know that I am emotional. I'm a complex soul, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel deeply. I feel the world deeply. So I cried as I looked at the picture. Mind you, I painted this picture years ago. Literally, years ago. I painted this picture years ago. I probably painted this picture, I would say like, I would say I painted this picture about 4, maybe 5 years ago. Just painting. Just going, moving. Right? I painted so many of my paintings, while I had limited vision. I had lost my vision. Painting kept me sane in those times. Painting kept me grounded. I was like, I gotta do something, So I was not able to see like that, Eyes were not doing what it needed to do. At the moment, I felt like they were not doing what it needed to do, but it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And wake me up, shift my perception, so I can see deeply. Like, you know what I mean? See deeply. So, I was painting so much limited vision. You know what I mean? It was very limited. It was scary. Very scary. However, again, painting kept me sane. Painting kept me grounded. Painting kept me feeling like, that everything would be okay. Right? But, when it comes to painting, I run to painting a lot. A lot. Even growing up, I ran to painting. I enjoyed my art teacher in high school. I did. I enjoyed him. It was a blast going in his class. That was the only place where I felt like I was seen, felt, understood. I felt like he understood me. I felt like it. He would tell me every day before, because it was every Friday, he would tell me, be good. Don't be smoking no weed out there. Da, 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 da. I wasn't even smoking weed. But he would say, just be good. Like, don't be out there. This was Texas, Denison, Texas. I can't remember his name, but old white guy. And I just enjoyed coming into his class and just being free, being myself, focused in the art of storytelling. Shout out to Andre 3000, man. Because when I heard that album, family, I fucking cried my eyes out. I cried and I cried and I cried, and I even got angry when I heard people making fun of him. I was enraged, like, how dare you? You know what I mean? How dare you make fun of someone's art? You know what I mean? You don't even understand the type of fucking, evolution it took for him to even make that album. Do you understand how much soul he put into that album? Fuck is you talking about? So I was enraged. Like, how dare you? This is art. This is information. This is us. This is we are all that we see, right? So ants to you, gods to who, right? As above, so below. You look down on the ants who's looking down on you. You know what I mean? We're just living on top of each other. Truly, living on top of each other. Projecting, right? We're in the sky, we're in the stars, right? We are the stars. We are the ants. We are everything. Everything that we see. We are one. We are alike. We need one another. And so I looked at my painting and I said, whoa, literally look at us. All the figures, all of us. I painted us, family. Inside. Us. So many colors. Beautiful. The Atlanteans. Evolution, vibration, legacy, technology, progress. Expect acceleration. Life is truly amazing. It's truly what you make it. Truly, truly, truly. And, how much would you like to see? What would you like to see? What would you like to experience? Would you want to broaden your horizon? Right? Do you want to see who you truly are? Do you want to take off the mask and be who you really are? I know I know it may be hard, being where you've been for so long and then you just change. You have so many people, counting on you. I know you do. I know you stress yourself out. I see you drinking so much coffee and things like that. So I know literally was looking at my picture, and it was telling a story. Seriously, it was telling a story, family. I seen beings yelling in my picture. I seen them yelling. I can see them expressing emotion in a painting. That is so amazing. I felt honored that they trust me enough to share their life, share their legacy, share our legacy. Shout out to the Atlanteans. I felt like I was under the sea, family. Under the sea we live all day. Out in the sun you slave away. Yes, it's an honor to see us, you know what I mean, on the floor. We're literally on the floor. Okay, imagine that. Imagine us truly being inside of the ocean right now, right? We're truly in the ocean right now, inside of an air pocket.